What's up, guys? Welcome back to the DFS 5-pack. I'm here with my main man, Matt Melman, and we are here with one of our customers, Mr. Daniel Allen, who took down a major score on Sunday, bringing home buku bucks. So, first off, Daniel, I got a couple questions for you. And my first question is, have your hands stopped shaking yet, or is it still kind of giving you a little bit of that nervous twitch?
Probably a nervous twitch, man. I still don't quite believe it yet.
It is. It takes a little bit of time to adjust. And, everybody on the screen here, we've all had our experiences taking down, bigger money like this. It is thrilling. I mean, honestly, did you have trouble going to sleep that night?
Uh, yeah, a little bit, but I'm a heavy sleeper, so I was able to get to sleep okay. But man, yeah, it kept my mind busy for a while.
Got you. I was going to ask you if you needed a financial advisor, but after talking to you for a few minutes and being a small business owner, I am pretty sure that you got that taken care of. Is that your gym there in the background?
That is, sir. This is my little personal gym that I train around 25 clients in. So this is kind of my personal space and also my DraftKings place as well.
Gotcha.
I was going to ask him if you're worried about any stat corrections because you only won the tournament by what, like 20 points?
Yeah, that was the first thing that went through my mind, but I saw it was so far ahead, so I didn't worry about it that much. So I was just like, dang. Anyway, it's still hard to believe.
I was going to say, this reminds me of the night that Matt was telling me when he won that big money in December, that he's like, oh man, they're starting to charge on me now. And he's like, he told me the guys that were coming for him because one of the games went to overtime. And I'm like, oh man, did that push you out? He goes, well, no, I'm still up 22 points or something like that. I'm like, you're up 22 points with a minute to go in overtime? Buddy, I think you're okay right now. I mean, because you won this one by a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember you guys talking about that actually.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was messaging Ryan all night actually. It was like a surreal experience. I can only imagine being you right now because I know that feeling. It seems like forever ago now. Man, you got to just live this up because this feeling doesn't come around that often. If it does come around often, man, I'd like to be you because this is a really good feeling right now.
Well, I've done my donations to DraftKings. That's for sure. So.
Is this your first big GPP win?
Actually, no. Actually, it's funny because on my wedding night, I won $1,000 2 years ago. And to make things even more bizarre, it was my 2-year anniversary.
Hold up. I'm laughing that you were playing DraftKings on your wedding night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Best player right
there. What can I say? It's true, man.
Well, that's awesome. But you won $1,000 on your wedding night, and then this was your 2-year anniversary?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They won 20 grand.
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say I'm not one that believes in the kind of like the lucky mojo like that. But every year on this anniversary, I'm thinking you go big.
Maybe so.
Ryan and I were talking about this. Like winning a grand is nice. 20 grand, while it might not be like completely life changing, it is. It's changing some things. That's for sure. That's a huge win. It's like winning the lottery with some skill. Just really impressed, man. So congrats again. I can't say it enough.
I appreciate that, man. I really do. I enjoy listening to you guys as well.
How long have you been a follower and a customer? Your name was really familiar. I think you've probably watched on YouTube for a while. I got a bunch of Daniels for customers, though. So trying to remember all the last names. Sometimes in my old age, I can't be so remember everything as clear as I'd like.
Mine's Alan, and I know there's a lot of Daniels out there, but well, I'd been of course I listened to you all the time, even before you had Matt aboard, and I've been wanting to join the longest, but when you got a business like mine, you have to be careful with your money. Even though I play DraftKings, not really being careful, I guess, but I wanted to wait until I had a good flow of clients, and then finally during football season, I was able to go ahead and do it, and I haven't looked back since. And it just helps when you have somebody to listen to. And I'm just kind of drawn to you guys because y'all remind me of myself. We're kind of laid back, same age guys, trying to make a living, and we all love the same thing. So that's kind of what drew me to you. And I'm just glad that I did, man. I every day I go home to lunch, I'm listening to you and Matt. Seeing what y'all's thoughts are.
Do you get more value out of the daily write-ups that we provide, or actually like the longer podcasts that we do for just the paying clients?
I guess it's kind of even. Sometimes I think I get more out of the podcast because sometimes you look at the write-ups, there's so many picks, especially with baseball, and like, okay, should I go with this? Who do they like better? Do they like this one? But you guys kind of lay that out. But sometimes when you're throwing with a lot of choices, my brain's just going from left to right. Who knows? DFS, you just never know, man, what kind of night you're gonna have.
I think last night in baseball was a great example of that. And we talked about this on the public show today. Nolan Arenado and Bryce Harper were in great spots. The guys combined for all of 10 points or something like that. Mm-hmm. I mean, we can make our best guesses as DFS players, but you can never predict how somebody else is going to play.
No, you sure can. I mean, the lineup looked good, but like you said, I mean, and sometimes these players can be in great spots and they just don't perform, and it's frustrating, but that's just life. They're human.
All customers who message me about players, on other teams, so players they don't have in baseball games, saying how good they are. They're so worried about that player. It's hard enough to control your own lineups, in which we have no control over, to let be worrying about other people's players. It can really mess with your head. That's for damn sure.
Oh yeah, man, no doubt, no doubt.
All right, how many lineups do you enter on a normal night?
Well, it depends on the bank flow, actually. If I'm feeling really good, in a big GPP like the one I won, I usually don't go over more than 5. And even when I'm doing that, I'm just like, I put that $8 in, like, Daniel, you should have done that, or maybe not. But glad I did this time.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
I play the quarter slots just to kind of get an idea of seeing what works and what doesn't. It's a good way to practice. I mean, I try stacking like everybody else does, and really nothing seems to work. The one thing that got me over the hump was Dennis Smith Jr. And, I'm a Texas fan. I like the Cowboys, of course, Texas, and I like the Mavericks, even though they suck, but that's okay. Dennis Smith Jr. was questionable. And I took a chance on that, and he was only 4% owned, and he really got me over the hump, scoring that 53 points.
It's awesome.
DraftKings points.
I was going to say, him and Lance Stevenson appear to have done a lot for you. So what was the process, the thought process on Lance Stevenson that day, if you don't mind me asking?
Sure. Well, Indianapolis is in the playoffs, so what have they got to lose? Why not play Lance Stevenson and Sabonis a little longer? And the same could, hold true tonight. They're playing. And I think I might roll with them again. So
all their starters are out too.
Yeah, exactly. So why not give Lance Stevenson? He's capable of having these big games. We've seen it before. And Sabonis, I really love Sabonis because, man, if you give him the minutes, he just piles on the DraftKings points. But
how about Torian Prince?
Well, Prince, we all know he's either going to give you a great game or else he's going to give you a sucky game. I thought that he would be low owned, so I just took a shot with him. And he wasn't as low owned as I thought, but man, he had a great game. I picked him at the right time.
Yep, I mean, he was obviously great. Dedmon really the only snowflake of the bunch. And let's not forget about Dwight Powell at 3% ownership going off for 37.5.
This lineup's nuts. Talk about nutting the lineup, seriously.
Yeah, my boy Robert Covington, I mean, that's a great play. He was great, but that one, doesn't separate you from the crowd. Prince even either at 25%. Great play, but man, you really made your money on the 2 Indiana backups and the Dennis Smith Jr. And I'm going to give you my 2 cents as somebody who wasn't there making the lineup with you. But did you play Stevenson and Sabonis together because your thought process was the backups all together? We're going to get an extra run?
Absolutely. That was my thought process. And, it's funny because I was on the way to get gassed for my lawn. I was going to mow the lawn that day. So we'd already celebrated our 2-year anniversary earlier. So I just kind of made the lineup as I was going to get gas. And I was kind of thinking about it. And that's the thought that went in my head. Is I think I'm going to play these 2 guys because I bet they might get some run. And they did.
So this is a great learning process for anybody watching this. As we look through here, like Ben Simmons is just an obvious play. He was 80% owned for a reason. Robert Covington was a pretty obvious play. Dwayne Dedmon, even though he sucked, was a pretty obvious play. Torian Prince made sense. And then again, he made his money mostly by going with the theory that Dennis Smith Jr. was great too, so let's not poo-poo him. But really the difference maker was going with those Indiana backups and pairing them together and working on like a mini stack thought process and not just trying to pull the one-offs.
Absolutely. Dedman was the one in my lineup. And, I like to go to landofbasketball.com because kind of see how these teams fared against each other. It's a free website that I use a lot. I was torn between him and Collins. And I don't know what Collins did that day, but I'm sure he did better than Dedman. And I went ahead and went with Dedman. It didn't hurt me, obviously, but I wanted to see how they fared against Boston. And we know Boston's not very good when it comes to rebounding. So,
nope, we've talked about that a bunch over here. So
absolutely,
listening.
This is like really gratifying, seeing our work from the beginning of the year at the end of the year pay off.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's why I credit you too. That was one of the first things I did. Well, I told my wife first of all, and then I was like, I'm going to go over there and tell Ryan and Matt.
Well, we love when people post those things in the Facebook group because that's part of what the Facebook groups are designed for. It's one, to share ideas, but also when we get to sharing some success like this, people remind them it can happen to you. Trying to get to the top of these 50,000 person tournaments is not easy, and the chances are most people will never do it. But if you pay attention and you listen and you go to websites like you just talked about and try to learn things, there's no reason you can't become one of those people.
Absolutely, man. And I can't tell you how many times that I've entered these tournaments, and I like to look at DK Live when it's not glitching, and I'll look and I'll just throw my phone on the bed because I'm pretty pissed because it's another terrible night as far as GPPs. But you never think you're going to be that person, and I honestly never thought I would be. But lo and behold, here I am talking to you guys, just winning 20 grand. So, man, I don't even really know what to say, but thank you guys. And thank you, DraftKings.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on here with us today and just giving us an opportunity to talk about it. Like I said, man, couldn't be happier for you. We know the feeling, and it is a really, really good feeling. It sticks with you for a little bit. Now, that's some good money to have. We were talking beforehand. I'm glad that you told me you withdrew a good number of it. Obviously, I agree with you. You got to keep some of it in there to have some fun, but you took it out. Whatever you plan to do with that money, have some fun with it. Obviously, be a little bit smart, but I mean, congratulations as many times as we can possibly say it.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, man. And anybody that's watching, hey, get on with these guys because it can't do nothing but help you, man. It's definitely the thing to do. It helped me. And it can help you too. And they're fun to listen to.
Awesome. We try to have fun with this. The game is great to win money, but it's supposed to be fun too, right? And that's why I try to remind some people when I get messages from people saying, I'm betting every dollar I have left in my name. And I'm like, no, don't do that. That is not smart. This game is supposed to be fun. If you're losing so much, your night's ruined, then you're not playing the right way.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right.
Awesome. Well, thanks guys a lot. Congratulations again, and we'll be talking to you real soon.
All right, man. Y'all have a good day.
Yep. Take care.